Vane have just released update 0.006, and this one looks pretty damn good, with loads of new features and tweaks to the overall UI, vehicle systems, item and loot mechanics, and loads of other stuff. This update is going to be a big one, and you can play it right now on Steam. The demo is available, and the link is in the description down below if you do want to go check it out. Now, if you don't know, Vane is a post-apocalyptic survival multiplayer sandbox game where you'll gather supplies to survive, explore abandoned buildings, combat bandits, and defend your home, assisting friendly NPCs and rebuilding society with friends. This game is loads of fun. There are actually some development members from the original Dead Matter team in here creating this game. And these guys have done since February, I believe it was, of 2022, a hell of a lot more than Dead Matter have ever done in their entire development life cycle. This game is loads of fun, and currently it is free. Check out the demo. The link is in the description down below. If you are a fan of Vane and zombie survival games, subscribe to the channel, drop a like in the video, I greatly appreciate it. Let's jump in and check out the latest devlog. Now the game does run like this too.
Devlogs and update videos. In the past, devlogs sort of indicated a game update, but it was really weird spending months without any updates and then having devlog 6 come out in between updates. So instead you'll see regular devlogs coming out and a shorter, higher level update summary video every time we release a Vane update.
That's brilliant, I like that. So currently, as he just said, we've just seen these big devlogs whenever there's been an update, but now they'll be releasing smaller ones. Currently, the update frequency is a little bit all over the place. There's no sort of set schedule to it. I think it's just as and when they've created the content. So either way, it is good. It is continually being worked on, and each update makes the game a little bit better.
We've added some new item container optimizations. This should allow containers to hypothetically have thousands or tens of thousands of items in them without lag.
Jesus.
A container with that many items in it? Probably not. But when you think about the entire world of Vane, there are lots of containers, so it'll still improve performance. We've modified how maps work. If you write something on the map or mark a location, it saves to that map specifically, so you can write on maps and other players can read it if they steal that map from you.
Yeah, that's very cool.
New 870 weapon mesh. Visuals are still pretty low priority for us, but it's a gradual thing. We've added the ability to move furniture. This costs tiredness for your character and increases their strength and vitality stats depending on the mass of the object and the world's gravity. The higher your strength, the further you can move furniture at a time, and the higher your vitality, the less tiredness it costs to move. You can also move items that you've placed down. We've started experimenting with geometry collections for destroying furniture. These let us crumble furniture when they're destroyed by players. We plan on adding this to most, if not all, furniture.
I like that. That's very good. And I like the fact that you can move everything around in a house. So the way that the house kind of works, you'll move in and then you set up that as your base. Then obviously you can move around that furniture and make it exactly how you want. And there's loads of little buildings dotted around in Vane. If you haven't seen it, it is a great game. I will post a link down below in the description to my latest gameplay video. We will be jumping back in and checking out more gameplay with this update over the weekend or start of next week.
In Devlog 6, we mentioned we'd scaled the world down from 14.5
Jesus, man, look at the size of it.
Squared. But I'm happy to say that we've solved the issue we were having, and we're back up to 14.5 by 14.5 kilometers. This puts the game at a combined 210 square kilometers, which is about the size of World of Warcraft. We definitely won't fill up the entire world space, and there will be vast amounts of forests for long-term survivalist players, but I think having the world be that large adds a feeling of depth and adventure to it all.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just being able to go around and explore all of that.
Azzy has put in work revamping and future-proofing the sandbox map. The farm now has a more reasonable layout, and enough space for all the future gameplay features that we're adding in. It now has areas for hunting and fishing, vehicle maintenance, and more. Check it out when you have a chance.
That's good. So they're trying to future-proof it as well, which is nice.
For using fertilizer when farming. You can pour putrid water onto crops to increase the yield and hardiness of the crops. You can find putrid water anywhere that has wastewater. In the future, we have plans for actual chemical fertilizer as well as composting systems. We've added weather debugging tools and admin menu features. Server admins or people playing in single player can change and preview the weather to their heart's content.
Alright, that's good.
We've added a new screen space fog scattering shader to the game. This is the effect of slightly blurring objects through thick fog. It adds a little bit of creepiness and, in my opinion, looks great.
That does look really nice, actually. That's smart. It just adds, like you said, to that creepy vibe, especially in the night times, or if you wanted to go for a sort of scary settlement vibe, especially if you're the server host or you're playing solo, then with that you could really do it and make things look nice and creepy, as well as just all the zombies being everywhere. I really like that. That looks awesome.
Wind has been added to the weather system. This causes grass and trees to shake and causes precipitation to blow in a direction. It unifies some of the effects that we had previously and keeps the world looking consistent.
The amount of detail that they're putting in is brilliant.
The ground now has puddles with raindrops accumulate, and the rain effect on windows has been fixed to align properly. There's still work that can be done on the system, but I'm happy with it for now. We've layered up some stats. When over-encumbered, walking will cause your character to gain strength. We've implemented the sneak stat, which has the AI less likely to see or notice you, and the driving stat, which affects vehicle handling performance. We've also added a note in the character creation menu to stats that aren't wired up yet, just for clarity.
Oh, okay, that's good.
To climb or vault over ledges and fences. We've developed an automorph system. It's a server option, so server operators can configure this, but essentially your character's physical appearance reflects their stats. If they have a very high strength skill, the character appears muscular, and if they're starving most of the time, they will start to lose weight.
Wow, that's a lot of detail.
We've also improved the character creation UI by moving the physical and appearance-related parts into their own tabs.
So the character creation, if you haven't seen it, it is absolutely insane. There is so much you can do to it.
With this update, we've sunk a ton of time into vehicles. With such an expansive map, they're going to be an important part of gameplay for many players. With Devlog 6, we implemented the basics of how vehicles control and move, although in this update we did heavily change how vehicles handle and grip. Now with Devlog 7, we wanted to flesh out the guts of operating and maintaining vehicles. Vehicles now have parts, engine parts, brake systems, headlights, wheels, etc. These can be removed and replaced by the player if the player has the appropriate tools. They have varying levels of wear and tear and take damage over time.
Jesus.
The damage on vehicle components will directly affect the vehicle's handling and performance.
Oh, wow. This is... They're going full hardcore with this, and I love that. Like, at first, it was just a zombie game that's open. Some of the UI is pretty hardcore, crafting some food and doing all that kind of stuff. You can move anything, you can pick it up, but they are going fully in and continuing on that trend. This game is going to be very difficult. I think, especially if you're a new player jumping in and you don't quite understand what's going on, it's going to be something that's going to have to take you. You're going to have to sit down and figure out what you're doing. I don't think it's going to be one of those games where you can just literally jump on, spend 15-20 minutes on and then be done. You are going to have to get your teeth stuck in for a few hours. I am debating covering it in full, but it's just the amount of content that's around it currently. I'm not 100% sure whether to go in and do guides and all that kind of stuff yet. But, I mean, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think we should do some guides? Are there things that you'd like to know? Are there things that you're struggling with? Because I've played it a few times and I absolutely love it. But especially with an early access title, you tend to do these guides. And then before you know it, a lot of that guide is irrelevant because things have changed. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments.
We've added a pickup truck and sedan to complement the sports car we use for testing. We've also implemented glove box, trunk, and truck bed inventories that you can loot. We've also added horns to vehicles which attract zombies from far away. Beams have also been added to the vehicle headlight system, as well as a keybind, default G, to switch between the settings. Vehicles now save their state. Before, they were temporary, but now they persist anywhere on the map. We've also added them to the current Champlain Valley map. We mentioned in Devlog 6 that we're redoing the Champlain Valley map. That's still work in progress, but you guys do need somewhere to play in the meantime.
Oh.
Instead of flipping with force, we've changed fixing flipped over vehicles to a much simpler system. It's about preventing frustration here. We've improved the car radio UI to show what's currently playing. Vehicles can be damaged. Running into players, zombies, buildings, and foliage will damage the car's internals. Damage affects the individual parts described earlier, and if you wreck your battery or engine, the car won't start. If the damage is explosive in nature, and the vehicle has gas in the tank, the vehicle has a chance of exploding. Damaging the vehicle will also damage people inside them, like drivers and passengers, depending on the force of the damage, so be careful when driving. You can also damage vehicles in ways you might expect, like shooting it or smashing it.
Jesus.
implemented a novel system we call Emotion AI. NPCs can think for themselves about how to react at certain emotional stimuli, and select what they want to do based on their memory. It's still being worked on, but it should yield some really smart AI decisions. NPCs will be able to hold grudges, get afraid at loud noises, listen to gossip, get annoyed if you start a fistfight with them, be nervous around excessively strong characters, etc. All based on a personality we programmed for them. I'm excited to show more of this off when it gets there. NPCs can now use guns, sort of. We took the randomly generated raiders out of the game because they were doing more harm than good, and I'd like them to be a lot smarter by the time we add them back in. Finally, we did some work on NPC dialogue UI. You can now see the conversation up to the current dialogue choice, similar to some other RPGs like Disco Elysium, and can have dialogue choices based on character stats, uniquenesses, occupations, etc.
That's good. That's very nice. I like that. That's going to add to much more of the sort of storyline replayability aspects of being able to go over and then change character stats to do things differently each time that you want to play, or get different reactions from those NPCs. So that's very good.
We've switched to a new online backend that removes the need to port forward. Players running Vayne can host their own server and have it show up in the server browser without any configuration needed. The start menu has options where you can specify server options, like the server name. We've also added a password system for players that are looking more to just play with friends or a small community.
So there was also a chunk of UI changes and improvements, but so far looks absolutely amazing. Once again, if you do want to check out the game, it is in the description down below for the Steam page. Head over there and check it out. There's loads of awesome stuff on there. And would you like to see us do a series on it, or just a little bit of a let's play? Let me know also in the comments. I greatly appreciate it. For now, though, we're going to wrap that one up there. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop comments down below. Do all of that good stuff. It really helps us push us out there in the algorithm. I'm going to be focusing a lot more heavily on Vayne over the next few months with their new sort of update schedule and devlog schedule. We're going to go a little bit deeper into it and get some more gameplay out too. I've been Wired. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.